If you have questions for Jazz, put up your hands. Laura's on the right-hand side.
Laura.
Over here on the right, or on the left, sorry.
I'm Chantal Fronin.
Hi, Chantal.
Hi. So when, excuse me, when Reels first came out on Instagram, it was my understanding that 30 seconds was like the prime video time and that the algorithms of Instagram would push you to the popular page. Is that still the case? And if it's not, what is that perfect time that you don't lose interest, but you're still giving adequate information?
Can we play a little together, Chantal? Are you okay with that?
Sure.
Okay, cool. How many videos do you shoot a day?
I'm at maybe 3 a month.
3 a month?
Yeah.
So I don't even want you to worry about the algorithm.
Okay.
Okay? I want you to shoot a video a day. After you do it for 6 months, I want you to text me, DM me, and then ask me those questions. It's not because I don't know the answers to your questions. It just doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because everyone in this room, there's nobody in this room that shoots enough content, including me. Everything in my life changed the second I started shooting content. So in terms of how long it should be, as long as do it for 30 seconds or 57 seconds. I do recommend staying under a minute for the short form content. That doesn't mean that you don't do the podcast for 30 minutes because we watch 3.5 hour movies, especially my Bollywood friends. Like they're fucking 4-hour movies and we love them. So that shit still works long form. You gotta get long form because then you take the short form out of the long form. But I want you to do the video. How long will it take you to articulate your point? Sometimes I can do a video in 7 seconds. Sometimes I need 59 seconds to articulate my point. What I really want to bring value to, and that's why I really appreciate the question, and so for everyone else, ask questions because it's usually reflective of 10,000 people thinking the same question, is that if I go into the analytics and the metrics and like all the nitty gritty in terms of content, nobody's going to get started. So I need you to get started because I know what you're worried about, and not just you, Chantal, everyone, which is the way that I look and the way that I sound. Guys, we're not in fucking high school. You look the way that you look and you sound the way you sound. And when you go meet your clients at their house, they're gonna see the same shit. So you might as well put it up front because the second somebody walks into my office, I got the leverage. We are salespeople. It's about leverage.
We got another question over here.
Does that answer your question, Chantal?
Yes, thank you.
All right, we've got another question here from
My man.
All right, we kind of know each other now.
Do we?
Oh, yeah.
And, sorry, your name? Your name?
Dwight,
Thanks, Dwight.
okay? Just Google that. I started shooting content 42 years ago. I started this business. And it was last fall that I hired a young lady to start shooting content and posting it for me. Because I don't want to know anything about posting or doing any of that. And what we do is we sit down and probably have a 3 or 4 hour session once every 2 weeks. But out of that session, she cuts probably about 15 different posts. And so we only do it in one session. But she cuts and trims and puts together. But one question, she's telling me these short ones work now, where it's just somebody stupid and things are popping around them. Like, I don't get.
So what's your question, sorry?
My question is, do they work?
Yeah.
I know it's just,
Yes.
So anything works.
Yep. And I'm not just being funny with you. You want to do a little TikTok shaking your booty stuff? Go ahead.
Okay.
I don't like that. I went down the educational route. You could do that stuff if you want. But to answer your question, it's allowing people to see your face. It's yes, go.
One more thing. One thing we do is we just have a microphone in front of us.
Perfect.
So many people say, I really like your podcast. There's no podcast.
I know.
It's a microphone.
Now imagine you went long form and you had a conversation. Are you in the real estate business, like as an agent?
Sometimes.
Okay, so imagine you sat down with a home inspector and talked about the 4 things that people need to know. You take that content, you put it out as a podcast, your girl does all the clipping, but now before somebody puts in an offer, you send that little piece. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, before we start searching for homes, or we're in the process of searching for homes, we're gonna put in an offer. It's gonna be conditional on home inspection, but I want you to just take a look at this quick little 18-minute segment that I took out of my 30-minute conversation about the 5 things that we need to watch for when we're doing a home inspection. Does that make sense? The magic of repurposing. Next.
We got one more up here, hold on.
Guys, while we're just getting this next question, I don't think you understand like how much of an open book I am, again, to prove that I'm not full of shit. You want to ask me questions on like, how did I get, like, what do I pay these people? All that stuff. I'm giving it all away.
Okay. My name is Mike Salaceda. About the educational events, do you recommend all in person or
Yes.
all those Zoom seminars? Do you
Yeah.
like to?
Yeah. So Zoom seminars are probably like, you know, they're going to be effective, but not as effective as an in-person event. One thing I didn't get to when I was talking about the in-person event, not making it fancy, 19 years, I've been doing my events the same way. Some wine and some cheese. I get 2 trays of cheese from Metro, $45 each. I get myself $8 bottle of red and $8 bottle of wine. Nobody knows the difference because people think they know, but most people don't. Remember, we're not dealing with the suits in downtown Toronto when it comes to these investors. They don't give a shit. They're blue-collar people. They're like, give me the education, get me out of this rat race. How do I create wealth? I tell people up front at the event, I say, look, I'm not sure if real estate investing is for you. In fact, I don't even think real estate's the best investment. I just think it's one of the best investments. Right? And so don't try to go too fancy in person. Nothing has changed. The one thing from the 70s and the 80s, belly to belly. We need to get belly to belly. We need people to come into our house. It's so much better when you're doing, the reason why I want you to do educational events, I said, remember, think of real estate as wholesale, not retail. We're dealing with 1 or 2 people at once. Why not have 40 people? This is better for me to get awareness to my personal brand, talking to 300 of you, rather than talking to each of you at once. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Laura?
Hey Jazz, Oliver here. A couple questions. First, what app softwares are you or your team using for editing or to add flair to your videos?
Let me just answer that really quickly. CapCut, Adobe Pro.
What was the first one?
CapCut, it's Apple's editing software.
And those are the only 2?
Those are probably the only ones that we use. For everyone else who's like, what the fuck did he just say? There's a beautiful website called Fiverr.com. They'll do videos for you for $10, $15. You don't have to worry about it all. The truth is, as a real estate agent, you should spend this much time on editing video. You have 2 jobs. 2 jobs as a real estate agent. This is it. This is it. That's why all the shit that people sell you is bullshit. You have 2 jobs. Meet as many people as you possibly can online and in person. Everybody could write this down and draw stick figures if you have to. Meet as many people as you possibly can online and in person. Second job, help them buy and sell and invest in real estate. Everything else, delegate. Sorry, he had a second question. I apologize, Laura. I didn't forget that. Hey, I want the content. You guys like that one?
I know about the question that you doom and gloom, but what are you saying to investors when the numbers aren't adding up this year?
Numbers in terms of what? Cash flow?
Yeah.
A couple of things. Don't invest here. Let's wait. Let's wait. In terms of the investment, I mean, look, this is why working with investors are the best. They don't really care what's happening with the market as much as home buyers and home sellers, because the savvy investors, the real investors, know this is the time. Most millionaires are made in recessions. They'll tell you we're not in a recession and all that. We kind of are. It is what it is. But savvy investors, to answer his question, because everyone's thinking it, they know this is the time to make money. Now, I have a pool of 11,162 investors. You know how serious I take my CRM. I know my numbers, okay? Out of that, I probably have 1,000 right now that are actively looking for stuff. Those are the savvy ones. My other 10,000, they're not ready right now. That's okay. I'm not going to tell them to fuck off. I'm going to say, hey, is it okay if we can stay in touch? You down if I stay in touch? You okay to keep on giving me your opinion on the marketing I'm doing? Yeah? Awesome. I'll reach out to you in 3 to 4 months in terms about investing in real estate. You know what the problem with salespeople are? Is that we try to convince, because we don't have a lot of people. You think you need to get to all 6.6 million people in the GTA. I got news for you. You'll never get to them. So stop convincing and start sorting.
Another question right here, Jess.
That's what I did back in the dating game. I'm married with 2 children now. But back in the dating game, the only reason I was pretty good is because I just sorted and convinced. Hey, you good? You want to go out? No? All right, you don't want to go out? You don't want to go out? You do? All right, let's go.
Hi there, this is just Vijay. My question is, when you said about the events, what is your advice for the agents who are very new in the business?
The best.
And
Okay.
are very limited in a bit?
Love it.
How do you market that?
Perfect. So everybody tells me that they have a limited number in their database. I open up their phones, they have 200 names. Oh, Pajaz, I can't call my cousin. What? He's in your database. Everybody that's 18 and has a pulse that you know is in your database. Last time I checked, that's the age of majority. If you know somebody who's 18 and has a pulse, they go into your database. My niece, my nephew, everyone is in my database. So let's start there, right? To you, Jasveer. Great question. Number two, if you're new in the business, you're in the best place. I'll tell you why. Because you're going to be able to knock off two birds. I'm not getting into killing animals, but let's just talk about it in this sense. Two birds with one stone. You, if you're new, you probably don't know everything you need to know about refinancing, pulling out equity, all the things you need to know about a home inspection, macroeconomics, and the list goes on and on. Is that fair to say? Here's the two birds, though. You're gonna, when you sit with experts, okay, you're gonna learn, but the cross-pollination that happens is magical, which is you're allowing your community to learn with you. Get it? I get that you might think as a new agent, but I'm not an expert. People don't buy from experts. They buy from people that they know, like, and trust. This fancy thing, I'm a finance expert. I'm a real estate expert. They buy from people that they connect with. So if you're new, your job is to be the messenger of education. The people will see you, your network will say, oh man, there's something about Jasveer. I like him. There's also going to be people like who say about me, that fucking Indian guy is on some type of drugs. Like he's just always waving his hands. I'm not touching him. I don't want to work with him. Great, you sorted yourself. We don't need to sit and talk about 45 minutes and I'm telling you about how honest and integrity, how much integrity I have. Because that's how most of us are trying to differentiate ourselves from the other 76,000 agents in the business. I'm integral. I have a lot of integrity.
We got time for two.
I'm going to go for Laura.
One over to Laura.
I'm going to go to Laura.
Here, and then I'm going to do two quick sponsors.
Hey guys, you guys asking me questions is probably going to bring you more value than the food you eat.
Jazz, if I may ask you, can you tell us about your own real estate investment experience? Or
Mine personally, right now I have a little over 14 doors. It's a myriad of, I'm a lazy investor. I tell my clients that, all my clients know. If you put a hammer in my hands, I have no clue what I'm doing. So I'm a very lazy investor. Out of my 14 doors right now, I primarily invested in pre-construction condos because I like the fact I don't need to get a mortgage. I like the fact that it gives me some exit strategies. I like the fact that they don't take my 20% down right away, okay? I also have multiplexes. I didn't talk to you about the importance of understanding how to put joint ventures together. So I invest with some of my clients where we raise capital and then we invest into properties. But all my properties, except for one in Florida that is closing, I think in 2-3 months in Orlando, which is going to be an Airbnb, all my properties in the Greater Toronto area. I only talk about the buy and hold. I don't talk about wholesaling. I don't talk about the BRRRR strategy. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I tell my clients up front, I am not Nostradamus. I have no friggin' clue what's going to happen with the market, but I do know one thing, that if you buy in the Greater Toronto area, in the last 100 years, every decade values have doubled. So Mr. and Mrs. Possible Investor, I can guarantee you one thing. Real estate values go up and down, upwards over time. The GTA, call me biased, I'm born and raised in Rexdale. There we go. Had to be one person from Rexdale, which I knew she was here. It's my Rexdalian. Is that we're going to have 500,000 people coming here. We have people coming and we're built on an island. Haven't figured out what Dubai has where we can build on water. On the northern part, we got this thing called the Greenbelt legislation. We're landlocked. We are landlocked, but yet we're the best city in the country. Well, I'm going to say in the world, but that's up for debate. I know our transit sucks, but people want to keep coming here. Mr. and Mrs. Investor, if you're a long-term investor, meaning you can't day trade real estate like you can stocks. So what you got to do with real estate is you buy it, you hold it, rent it out, refinance it when the values go up, pull out the equity, you could go to Vegas and spend it, or we can buy more real estate. That's up to you.
Perfect. Jess, over here, last question, and then I've got 2 quick sponsors, and then we'll feed you.
So my name is Helen. I've been in this business for a couple of years.
Hi, Helen.
My question is, I'm all about the video, and I have a beautiful daughter that does it. But why do you talk about every single day? Like, because I want to make it intriguing, interesting,
Love it.
and not stupid like a lot of videos.
Great question. So, at the start when you're starting, you should start with your educational tips around real estate. I think the most important thing to do, though, at some point, is have a comma, whatever your comma is. And sorry, your name was? Helen, I apologize. Helen, so you're a real estate agent, but I just caught that you're a mother, right? What are some other passions you might have? Running. Oh, she likes running? Awesome. What else? Just give me one more. Traveling. I don't even need another one, but I'll go with running. Okay? What if you showcased some content around you running? Like, are you a sprinter? Are you a marathon runner? What type of shoes do you wear? I actually know a lot of information. If I wasn't in the real estate business, in fact, because I sold shoes to runners, to sprinters and marathon runners, I know a lot about the pronating of the foot and what type of footwear you should wear, all that, okay? There's a strong possibility, if I saw one of your videos talking about running, okay, that when I was ready to maybe buy real estate and I did a little bit of a deep dive on you, like, I wonder if Helen's like a professional runner. Is that what she does for a living? No, she's in this real estate business. She's in the real estate business. There's a strong possibility of me reaching out to you because I'm connected to you. And how nice is it for you, Helen, the real estate agent, to work with someone where you're only talking about running? We all been in a car with somebody where we're doing showings, you're like, I can't wait till this is over. Right? But how nice is it if you guys are talking about something that you're both passionate about? I have a friend in the States in Atlanta, Matt, where all he talks about and his community and his Facebook groups and all that is about Porsches, his love for Porsches. He does 95% of his business, and I'm not talking about 8 to 10 deals a year, he's probably north of 60 to 70 deals a year. 90% of his business is with Porsche owners.
Jess, thank you very, very much.
I hope it was valuable today.